Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is the Political Brown Kid here, bringing to you a series that I call Hollywood in Black and White. What I'm going to be doing with this series of videos, blogs, whatever you want to call it, is exploring the media, particularly Hollywood media, but it's exploring all media. It could even be social media content as well, commercials, and I'm going to just be kind of breaking that down from a racial perspective and just showing you, the positive and negative effects that it has on African Americans, Nubians, blacks in the diaspora, breaking those media clips down and just talking about their significance. I'm going to try to steer clear from if I'm doing television shows and movies, as far as if the movie's good or not, but there will be spoilers in there. But the premise of this initial video right here is just to kind of lay the foundation of what to expect. Because what a lot of people fail to realize is when you create a movie, you have to understand, or not even just a movie. So let me backtrack that. When you're creating media content, whether that be YouTube videos, whether it be commercials, whether it be music, whether it be a television show or a movie, what you have to understand is how premeditated that content is. And this is what people fail to understand, how important and how deliberate movies and television are, which makes it even that more egregious when you're doing certain things to black people to put them in a negative light. So what I'm trying to say is, for example, when a person writes a television show or a movie, you have to sit down and provide thought. You're putting pen to paper, or for the most part, you're putting fingers to a keypad to type things out. You're thinking about what the premise of the movie is going to be, or the television show. You're writing out a storyboard that shows what each scene is going to do and the content of that scene and the dialogue of that scene. So it's all premeditated to either get a laugh, either to make someone cry, either to make someone angry. You're writing out a script. So that's number one. So when a person deliberately writes in a joke that, that's about a black person, or writes in content to make a black person seem coonish, or, seems like a minstrel show, that's important. When they purposely write in movies that break down the black family structure, that's all deliberate. And then the second component of, once you write a script, the next component is, and I'm not going in any particular order, but another component would be to cast characters. So when you write a movie, so maybe, and even if, let's just say someone took a book, a favorite book like Harry Potter, let's just use that as an example. Some media executive said those Harry Potter books would be great to turn into a movie or a series of movies. So once you read and dissect the books, and if you're going following the book, let's just say the media people, they're just saying, well, we're just going to take what the author, J.K. Rowling's, we're going to take what that person has given us, and that's the content, that's the dialogue, that's the premise of the movie. But now we just need to do casting. So now you have to have a casting director and a casting personnel. So then that casting personnel, now maybe if the book specifies, how this person or how this character looks, so forth and so forth, sometimes they stick strictly to the script. But sometimes they alter these characters. Sometimes they'll say, well, we'll make this character white. Why does this character have to be Asian or black? Because they want to make it, quote unquote, when you're dealing with America, they're trying to appeal to the masses of the demographics, and they think that, America's predominantly white. So in order to get people to the movie theater, we want to put a predominantly white person in this part. But that's not necessarily true. People are going to come to see a movie if it's good or not. They just are. But this is the way these people think. So the casting directors and basically sometimes going off of the guidance of the executives. Because just to give you a prime example, you can look this up. Eddie Murphy said when he did the original movie Coming to America that they were told they had to have a white character in the movie, and that's how I forget his name. He reminds me of John Candy, but it's not John Candy. But that's how he got into the movies. The guy that says I'm working on fries and I'm going to work my way up, and that's when the big bucks come in. That's how he got into the movie because the executives forced Eddie Murphy and them to put a white person in the movie. So this goes to show you again too the viciousness and the intent of Hollywood. They'll force you to put white people in their movies. They don't force black people into movies. But then also when you're looking at the casting directors, I'm getting back to them. A character has to be cast into a movie. So when you see all of these movies where it's a black woman with a white man, that's all you see nowadays. They never intentionally pair up two black people in a movie, and not in predominantly white movies, big budget movies. You can look at those movies, and those blacks have very little interaction with one another. And so I'm going to be breaking these down when I start doing these series of movie reviews. So you have all of this. So I'm just trying to, when you look at commercials, you'll always see a black woman with a white man. And even if another black man is in that same shot, they always have the black woman sitting closer to the white man and she's further away from the black man. So it gives the perception that she's with the white man. Or they're casting black women in movies or specifically commercials, and you don't see a man with her, but they'll put a child with her that is very light skinned, very fine hair, to give the impression that she's had interracial relations and this child is the offspring. So I just want to kind of break this down so when I start this series, Hollywood in Black and White, you can understand that everything that they're doing is intentional. It's with a purpose. And keep in mind too, going back to my other previous videos, that when you want to control people, the best way you control people is through controlling the government, controlling the military, and controlling the media. If you have control of the media, you can control the communication and the information that gets out. And that's one of the things that Donald Trump understood. You can hate Donald Trump all you want. I'm not trying to say I'm advocating for Donald Trump and that I like him. I'm not trying to say I hate him. But the one thing I can say that Donald Trump did very well and that he was a master of is he understood that the media he needs to control the media and the information that got out. So when you saw Donald Trump running for president, he immediately established the term fake news. And he said CNN and MSNBC are fake news because he knew that they were not his allies. And he provided endorsements of only select media channels. And that's how he flipped the narrative. When you looked at the 2016 elections, you saw how, quote unquote, allegedly, I'm going to say allegedly because anything America tells you, you can't believe because they do their own propaganda, just like other countries do propaganda against America and in other countries. But when you looked at the 2016 elections and even the 2020 elections, what was the big thing? Russians are creating bots and they're infiltrating the social media platform. Facebook got hit hard on that. So what I want black people to understand, and I even want you white people that are listening too, what you have to understand, because I need you guys to sympathize and or empathize with black people in our struggle. Because they're also going after you too. You shouldn't have to watch all of this interracialness going on television. You should, but you don't have a bigger problem than we do because you get to see healthy white on white relationships, heterosexual white on white relationships. Black people, we rarely get to see that. And so I'm trying to get you all to understand and emphasize with that. So with that being said, I'm going to kind of conclude this video, but this is just the fact. I'm just want to lay the foundation of what you're going to be seeing from my series, Hollywood in Black and White.